Hey, what's going on, everybody? Another beautiful morning in Wilmington, Delaware. 6 weeks down. I have been here for 42 days, and 2 weeks left to go for Amtrak assistant conductor trainee program, and one test left to go. Very excited, even though it's really not much to do. Just trying to stay busy and keep my head on a straight and narrow path, doing the right things. And it's very hard. It's very hard because it's literally like nothing to do. There is, but there isn't, if that makes any sense. And one of the number one things that I heard people say, like, oh, there's plenty of places to eat. Yeah, but a lot of times, you don't want to sit there and eat at all these restaurants 3 times a day, and you're spending all this money and gaining a lot of weight, and it's like a negative. It's like, oh, there's plenty of places to eat, but there are not many like fresh markets or grocery stores where you can make groceries, have a lot of groceries on hand to cook a lot of your meals. There are just a lot of places to eat, and the prices are pretty steep. They're not. Some things are competitive, but for the most part, I guess with anything, you gotta take it with a grain of salt. But like I said, I woke up this morning and I studied last night, and it's like, so I'm supposed to wake up again this morning and study all day. But then it's, oh, well, take a break and get out. And it's like, yeah, but I've been here 42 days, and what else is there to do, So for the people that's on the Northeast corridor, they're good. They take the train home every weekend. But for me, I've been gone for 6 weeks, and I can't even leave off the corridor. I can't. And so the people that's from the long distance trains locations, I mean, I guess you could fly home if you want to, but then that's another story. But so I was walking around this morning and I found this location, and I thought that this would be a good video to shoot, because we're actually going to be talking about this topic coming up here shortly. So of course I'm using my phone, and I'm not sure if my phone can pick up what I'm looking at, but I found this piece of railroad track, and while I was walking through, I saw an intermodal train coming, so I walked over. There's like a little overpass, and right here there's a permanent reduced speed sign. Okay, now one thing that I can tell you, maybe not always, but for the most part, on the railroad, whenever there's a curve or a trestle such as this, there's always going to be a permanent reduced speed associated with that piece of territory. So, for example, if the maximum authorized speed for this line, let's say it was 79 miles per hour for passenger trains, and it was 60 miles per hour for freight and intermodal. It might even be 50 for freight and intermodal. But the two speeds would show that the top speed would be for passenger and the second speed would be for freight and intermodal. But whenever there's one speed, that one speed is for everything. And the speed that I see on the permanent reduced speed sign is 40 miles per hour. So if maximum authorized speed for this line was, for example, 79, if we were on an Amtrak train, when we hit this permanent reduced speed sign right there, we need to be going 40 miles per hour, 40. And there's another rule where it states that the conductor is to warn the engineer not more than 5 miles, but no less than 2 miles. So when we're bumping along, getting it, going along the right of way, the train line. They were going to say, hey, all right, we got that 40 coming up at the curve. And then the engineer repeat, I understand, 40 coming up at the curve. And I'm staying aware, making sure that the engineer is operating according to that curve that's coming up. You can tell when the train is bearing down or braking, and we're complying with, I guess, the timetable, special instructions, whatever the line speed is, whatever the permanent reduced speeds is. The one thing that I did learn in CSX conductor school with the signs, squares don't last. So squares, that's a temporary reduced speed. That's where something is wrong with the track. They're working on the track, so the speed is reduced. So say like the speed through here was 50 miles per hour. Maintenance of way is working on the track, and they put a 25 mile per hour temporary reduced speed. So there'll be a square, there'll be a square yellow board along the right of way. And in school, squares don't last, so that's how you remember that it's a temporary reduced speed. And diamonds, which this board here is in a diamond shape, so this is a square and the board is in a diamond shape, diamonds are forever. So that's how you know that that's a permanent reduced speed, because it's a diamond shaped sign. So let me give you a good example. So it's very beautiful, but it's getting hot. I'm gonna explain this video, and I'm gonna stay as long as I can to try to catch a train. I don't have a radio or any intel, but I don't even know. So from what I can see, off in the distance, there's another curve. Yep, it looks like it curves, going this direction, it curves to the left. So let's say we're coming around the curve, boom, now we're on straight track. If I was in the head end, like on a freight train, I would say to the engineer, I would say, all right, 40 coming up at the curve, 40. And then he'll say, all right, understand, 40 coming up at the curve. But some engineers would say, I got it. Well, you think I don't know where the curve at? and then I'm like looking at the engineer, I'm like, you know, I'm just doing my job, you know. But then what's so funny, if something was to go wrong, he didn't remind me. He didn't tell me where the curve was at. You know, so that's one of them things where honestly, you just gotta do you. You just gotta do the right thing, do your job. I mean, the guy get upset because I'm reminding him where the curve is at, or he can say, all right, 40 at the curve. So that's another variable, just working with different personalities, working with different people, whatever mood the person in that you're working with for the day. But where I am in my life today, I'm going, hey, a train coming. Look at that. Look at that, a train coming. That's exactly what I needed. Here we go. Ooh, they going. So when we come, so the train coming around this curve, and I would say 40 come up at the curve, and he needs to have them down at 40 before we get to that permanent reduced speed. I'm trying to get a good shot. Juice cars. Woo, I feel that exhaust. I'm trying to get another shot. The juice train. They used to be a whole separate train, and then they started putting them on the intermodal trains, the head end. Man, when that train was coming, I immediately got goosebumps. And just hearing the engines, the way they were sounding, I mean, it sounded like I took a pill or something. That's the feeling that I get. It never gets old. That's all I ever wanted to do with my life. Imagine running this train on this beautiful morning, making all that good money, that good retirement, good 401k. All right, stop out and train, let's go over to Mark. Then they might say, all right, understand, still looking at you because your train longer than theirs. Man. But yeah, like I was saying, basically, I talked about line speed. I talked about permanent reduced speed. I talked about the temporary reduced speeds, and another rule where you're supposed to warn the engineer 5 miles, no less than 2 miles. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this quick, nice video. I said I was gonna stay until I saw a train, and I did. So till next time, you know what I'm gonna say. Again, thank you. Bye.